Wars Celebration is in Tokyo, Japan in 2025. Let's get into some super early tips and things to look for now. Let's go. Alright guys, so last week at London Celebration they announced that 2025 will be in Tokyo, Japan. So I've been doing research non-stop ever since that announcement because I'm crazy. I'm going 100%. So I always wanted to go to Tokyo to Japan, but I guess I was a little bit lazy to plan the trip because it's a 18 hour flight for me from Florida. So it's like, it's a long time on the plane. Do I want to go that bad? But now that Celebration's there, it's kind of like 2 for 1. Like, you get to explore Tokyo, which is beautiful, and Celebration. So definitely planning it out now. So the 2 things that I recommend for all people to start doing right now, I'm kind of going to go over in this video because it's only going to help you when it's time to book those 2 things. So there's not a lot of detail, not a lot of information other than the location and the dates. That's it. We probably won't get anything else till next year, to be honest. So there's only so much that we could speculate, so much that we could talk about. So I shouldn't have really a lot of videos out covering Japan until early to mid next year. But this one I wanted to drop just to kind of like let you guys know what I've done so far and what I'm kind of planning to make this trip smooth and successful. So the first thing, it is in Tokyo at the Makuhari Messe Convention Center. So as you guys can see on this map right here, it's right there to the right of Tokyo. So I wanted to kind of see where it was. That way I could kind of have an idea of where do I want to get a hotel at. So that's one of the first things I recommend you guys doing is start looking for hotels because it's too early to book. Now, I think maybe later this year, towards the end of the year, we could start booking for April 2025, but I already started looking at a ton of different hotels. I just picked a different date, not the dates for there. So just to kind of get a ballpark idea of the cost, see what hotels are available. So it really depends on you for your trip there if you want to stay more in the city of Tokyo and just commute to the show when it's time, or if you'd rather stay by the convention center and just commute to Tokyo while you're visiting. So me personally, I'm going to stay as close as I can to the convention center just to make it a little bit more convenient each day to get there. If I want to take breaks in the middle of the day, maybe drop off stuff that I picked up. If I got any like merchandise, picked up any art prints, I could just drop it off at the hotel real quick. So there's a good like 4, 5, or 6 hotels all within walking distance of the convention center. So for sure, that's the first area that I'm going to look at to book when it's available to book. But I definitely recommend for you, if you're seriously thinking about going, start looking now at hotels, whether it's in the Tokyo area, whether it's Airbnbs, however you prefer to stay when you travel, just so you have an idea of where they are and roughly like price ranges, which they weren't too bad. So that's the first thing I'm recommending that you guys do because I've done it already. So the second thing I recommend is the flights, which is pricey. Honestly, that's the most expensive part of the trip for me. Is the flight is ridiculous, but it is what it is. It's so far, like there's nothing you can do. If you want to go, that's what it costs. Everything else is somewhat reasonable for if you go on a vacation anywhere, as far as like the hotel and all that stuff. But the flight, you're gonna bite the bullet on that. So here on the screen, and shout out to Nilda because she sent me this, it kind of breaks down the closest airports to the convention center. So there's the Tokyo Haneda, and I'm probably butchering these names, I am sorry. So the HND airport, which is the closest, and then the Narita, the NRT, which is pretty close, and the Ibaraki IBR, which is a little bit further. So I know what I'm gonna do is when it's closer to book the tickets, because you can't book that far out as well. I'm going to try to go to the closest airport just so my commute to the hotel is quicker since I'm going to stay by the convention center. But I'm going to check both airports to see how the pricing is and the flights. If there's like a better flight that's a little bit quicker or maybe it's a little bit cheaper. But more than likely, I'll probably be flying into the HND airport. But what I did was I kind of went on like Skyscanner, which is a website and an app, and Expedia, and kind of looked at flights to kind of get a ballpark idea of the cost. So I have those prices, and I have those prices for me from my location. It's gonna vary where you are, but I highly recommend playing with that now, so you have a good ballpark estimate of the cost of the flight, so you can like plan and save to it. Because right now, those are my two main focuses: is when the hotels are available to book it, and tip, I book through Expedia.com because it lets you book free cancellations, and then you can pay when you check in, which is awesome. Now, if you're have money saved, or and want to pay it up front, you can. But for me, I prefer that in case if I change my mind, maybe something else better comes up last minute. Maybe some other friends come last minute and we get a cheaper deal grouped together. So definitely going to book mine through Expedia. And then for the flights, when that's available, I'm just going to have to just buy that and book that right away. So as soon as I see a flight that I like and it's available to book, I'm not even going to hesitate. I'm just going to knock that out. So for now, those are probably the two things I would recommend focusing on the most, is flights and hotels. And that way you know how much you need, and then we'll go from there. So the other thing that I've been doing is kind of ballparking how much time do I really want to spend there to enjoy it and not be rushed. So London, I was rushed for sure. So when we went, we only had 2 days of London to sightsee. So we try to rush and cram seeing everything in 2 days, and it wasn't enough time, and it wasn't enjoyable, and I barely remember a thing. I remember going from here to this train, to this bus, to this train, to get to here. Okay, cool. All right, to the next site. So in Tokyo, I don't want that at all. I want to enjoy it and savor it. So one thing I recommend that I'm doing is the first day in Tokyo, I'm not counting that as a day. The minute I get to Tokyo that first day, I'm going to be so messed up from the time difference. I think they're 13 hours ahead of me from Florida time. They're in the future right now. So, and it's a 17-hour flight. So my first day in Tokyo is do nothing. Maybe I'll just sleep. Maybe I'll wander a little bit around the hotel area. But my very first day, I'm not planning to do a thing. And I recommend that for you too, especially depending on where you're coming from in the world to go there, because that jet lag is serious. So in my planning, my first day there is completely nothing. Then I know when I go there, I want to go to both Disney parks. I want to go to Universal, and there's a bunch of other things that I want to see. So instead of trying to cram like 2 or 3 things in a day, I'm literally spreading everything out. So the 2 Disney parks, one day will be for one park. The next day will be for another park. The next day will be for Universal. So I'm literally spreading it out. That way I can enjoy each day and not like have to rush. Okay, I'm going to spend my first half of the day at this one Disney park. Then I'm going to go to the next Disney park the second half of the day. No, I want to like enjoy my time there and not be rushed. So I kind of planned it like that. That way I knew how many days do I need to go to really enjoy everything and not feel rushed. So I think I came to 6 full days of Tokyo, 3 days for the celebration, and then that first day will be a day to not do nothing. So that's 10 days total there, and then come back on the 11th day. So that's what I'm planning, to be out there for 10, 11 days is my plan for now. It could change, maybe a little more. I doubt I'll go less, but I think that's a good sweet spot where I have time and I'm not rushed to do things, because I really, really want to enjoy this trip. So that's another thing I'd suggest doing too, is kind of plan out how long you want to go there and what you want to do and see. That way it doesn't feel rushed. So the only other thing is for when tickets go on sale. Now, nobody knows, but going off what I know from past celebration experiences, my best guess is tickets will go on sale next June 2024. Now, the reason I say that is because Orlando 2017, they announced Chicago for 2019. So just like this, London 2023, Tokyo 2025, the year in between. So Chicago tickets went on sale in June of 2018. So that's why I have a feeling it'll be around then. Sometime in the middle of the year of 2024 is when I think tickets will go on sale. So that way you also have an idea of when you need to buy those tickets, and they should be cheaper than London's tickets because it's 3 days, not 4 days. So the 4-day pass will be cheaper because it'll be a 3-day pass. Even the Jedi Master VIP will be cheaper because it's 3 days instead of 4 days. So keep that in mind when you're budgeting. If you look at those London prices, it's going to be a little bit less than that for the 3-day and for the Jedi. Now the single days might be similar, around the same price, maybe a little less, maybe the same, but the 3-day and the Jedi will for sure be cheaper than the London pricing. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Comment down below if you're going and what your plans are. Again, the 3 main things I want to get across was just look for hotels so you have an idea, flights so you have an idea, and then about how many days you want to go while you're there. That way you could really kind of plan that out and map that out now, so when it's time to go, we'll be there having a blast. So if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.